Richford. Welcome to Moccasin Trail News Live here on the official online news portal of the Treaty 2 territory. Welcome to the Health and Wellness Program. Noon ko maiga ga no bandaman ay ga ni mettomen na the CBC website's latest updates ay ni ga ni ga tashindamen na the COVID-19 pandemic latest information. And it reads 11 more deaths, 111 new cases of COVID 19 reported in Manitoba as numbers lower in North. Under the headline, it reads First day the province has had a double digit number of deaths since January 7th. There are 11 more deaths and 111 new cases of COVID 19 in Manitoba on Tuesday. It's the first day the province has had a double digit number of deaths since January 7, when there were 12. The total number of COVID related deaths in Manitoba is now 783. Due to a data correction, one death that had been reported earlier has been removed. Despite the bump into double digits for deaths, the daily case count is 7 fewer than on Monday. That is a trend in the right direction compared to November, when daily case counts ranged from the low 400s to as high as 546. As well, the province's 5-day test positivity rate continues to decline. So, though just 1,462 tests were done, it is now 9.9% compared to 10.6% on Monday. The rate is 7.4% in Winnipeg. As a result, the province is in a position to consider loosening current restrictions, Chief Provincial Public Health Officer Brent Roussin said. The actions and hard work and sacrifices of Manitobans has continued to make a difference, he said. That means we can start looking at what reopening might look like. The province announced late Tuesday morning it is looking at allowing 2 people, family or friend, to visit a household, allowing outdoor visits of up to 5 people plus members of a household on private property, and allowing all stores to open for the sale of all products but with occupancy limits. Barbers and hairstylists might also be allowed to open with occupancy limits. The proposed changes could come in effect as early as Friday, when the current extension of Code Red orders is set to expire, Roussin said. An announcement on that will come in the next few days. Given the high case counts in northern Manitoba and many First Nations, the proposed changes would most likely only apply to communities in the Winnipeg, Southern Health, Interlake Eastern, and Prairie Mountain Health regions, a news release said. We know we can't get back to where we were. We know that the more interactions there are, the more chance of this virus being transmitted, Roussin said. We know Manitobans are eager, especially businesses, and these restrictions have been difficult. So we have to have a very cautious approach, taking advantage of the progress that we've all contributed to over these last many weeks. The Code Red restrictions were put in place November 12 and have twice been extended. The new, slightly relaxed orders would likely be in effect for 3 weeks and then reviewed to see if there's any more cautious reopening we can do at that time, Roussin said. Caseload slows in North. The northern part of the province has been bearing the brunt of most of the new cases over the past week, but on Tuesday, the Winnipeg Health Region has the most single-day cases with 52. The Northern Health Region has 33. Another 12 are in the Interlake Eastern Health Region, 8 are in the Prairie Mountain Health Region, and 6 are in the Southern Health Region. Of the 11 deaths, 7 are from the Winnipeg Health Region, including 3 connected to known outbreaks. A man in his 60s linked to the outbreak at the Southeast Personal Care Home, a woman in her 80s linked to the outbreak at Deer Lodge Center Lodge, 4 West, and a man in his 90s linked to the outbreak at Concordia Place. The others from Winnipeg are 3 men in their 50s, 70s, and 90s, and a woman in her 90s. 1 death, a woman in her 50s, is from the Interlake Eastern Health Region, and 2 are from the Southern Health Region, a man in his 80s and another in his 90s. The latter is linked to the outbreak at Heritage Life Personal Care Home. The other death is a man in his 80s from the Prairie Mountain Health Region who is linked to the outbreak at the McCrary Alonza Health Center. Outbreaks have been declared over the St. Paul's Personal Care Home in the Paw, Fernwood Place in Steinbach, Greendale Estate Assisted Living in Grunthal, as well as at 2 locations in Winnipeg, Deer Lodge Center, Lodge 2 West, and Health Sciences Center, Unit WRS3. A new outbreak has been declared at Donwood Manor in Winnipeg. There are 279 COVID-19 patients in hospital, which is a reduction of 10 from Monday's report. There are 37 people in ICU, which is an increase of 2. Sige, what ako ay. Manitu shop and ewan ni ba yung tutapin ni Juan. It's best for us to stay safe and limit our contacts and follow all of those precautionary procedures that helps to keep us safe. John Gomez Young, we have to go carefully in life as we venture out each and every day and with our interactions with people outside of the home. The stores where we buy our foods and the places where we get our gas. It just so John Gomez, you have to be careful these days and carry those disinfectant wipes and clean the fingers and the hands and the steering wheel and anything that you touch along the way in a day. It only takes one person, I've been told, and it only takes one person. Please, taking a look at the Mogson Trail News website, mogsontrailnews.com still has the same information from this morning, and we brought you Kisi Kuinen's 9-year-old Jaslyn Corasil Laquette. She's making strides in pursuit of her dreams. That's the latest. You're all caught up on that website. Turning over to the fnt2t.com website, Government of First Nations and Treaty 2 Territory. Our latest post was made on January 19, that's today, 2021. And it's the same story, same latest news. Kisi Kuinen's 9-year-old Jaslyn Corasil Laquette making strides in pursuit of her dreams in Treaty 2 territory. Now let's turn to the Treaty 2 territory Facebook page. Kisi Kuinen Recreational Events is hosting drag races February 20 and 21st. For more information, Ryan Ganunakan, the number for Ryan is 204-596-3613. That number again for drag races in Kisi Kuinen on the 20th and the 21st of February is 204-596-3613. Now let's turn our attention over to back to CBC website. Take a look at the Be Live platform and take a look to see if anyone's saying hello this afternoon. Oh, good afternoon, Ikwemako. Good afternoon, Gagi. Nice to see you online here this afternoon. Thank you for engaging us. As well, Mr. Gabriel Nanakwap. Anin, bonjour, Gabriel. Bitawish na naman. Mananumay ko nag-ibit ako sin. Well, ni Jogan ay. Can't shake hands, so Ningwing Ganes. Ningwing Ganes, I'll extend it to you. My chicken wing. Good afternoon, Mr. Nanakwap. Ni Jogan, Gabriel. And good afternoon, ni Mama Ice, Fern, Marie Hool. Bonjour, bonjour. Pijak wi ga pinya ko den na yo nung gum shu ko bang wi ba ge she pikitok wi to ke mi wen umana ka kya ma ai me we si ga yan ana watch kang go jinga ga wi me bezo ga wi pezo si nung gum una o shinga ma wa bang wi ba ge she so probably just going to stick close to home because of the weather that's been reported in the news in the last 2 hours wi ga pinya ko den me no ikitok me na chimat me go. Good afternoon to to all of you. Esta Sheikh. Hi, man. We're waiting for Miss Karen Kijek. We shage we ge ma pe chibi ai we che chibi tiba chemota ni ne sema kai otanokin what type of work she is undertaking in policy and what sort of new updates and announcements that she would like to make here this afternoon. And so, Akwego, I will wait for her just a little bit longer, but I want to bring a story to you. Excuse me. Ah, This kigate. This kigate. No. All right, this one taken from the CBC website, cbc.ca. And it reads, the headline reads, the headline reads, Manitoba mulls easing retail and gathering restrictions for all but northern region. Options include allowing up to 2 visitors inside homes, eliminating essential items list. And I see a picture. This story, credited to Cameron McLean of CBC News, posted January 19, 2021 at 12:09 p.m. and last updated 2 hours ago. So I'm looking at a picture right now that accompanies the article, and underneath the tagline reads the cut line reads, Manitoba is considering relaxing restrictions on household items, retail sales, and some health and personal services. 81 comments, Aja Otano, on this thread, and it reads. Many Manitobans could soon have a small number of friends and family over to their properties and shop for anything they want at a store after enduring 2 months of the toughest lockdown since the start of the pandemic. The province released a range of options it's considering for private gatherings and the reopening of stores for all regions except the hard hit north. The actions and hard work and sacrifices of Manitobans has continued to make a difference, said Dr. Brent Rusin, Manitoba's chief provincial public health officer. Overall, our numbers are headed in a good direction, and that means we can start looking at what a reopening might look like. The current household orders could be loosened to allow 2 additional people, family, or friends to visit a household, outdoor visits of up to 5 people in addition to members of the household on private property, and funerals up to 10 people, plus an officiant. All stores could be allowed to reopen as long as they maintain physical distancing and occupancy limits of 25% up to a maximum of 250 people. Eliminating the list of restricted non-essential items is also floated. Non-regulated health services such as podiatrists and reflexologists, as well as personal services such as barbershops and hairstylists, could reopen as long as they also follow health precautions. The relaxed orders, which are merely proposals at this point, could come into effect as soon as 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, when the current public health restrictions expires and last 3 weeks. Rusin stressed that the province is taking a cautious approach, saying that the more interactions people have, the more opportunity the virus that causes COVID 19 has to transmit. Manitoba case numbers began to increase sharply in late October and November, despite some health restrictions in place at the time. And Rusin said he doesn't want to see that happen again. There's a diagram here of a, a graph, and it reads new COVID 19 cases in Manitoba. Each black dot is the number of new reported cases on a given day. The red line is the average over the previous 7 days. Okay, I see a combination of a graph and a blotter or scatter map with dots everywhere. We don't want to go back and forth. We want to have a slow, cautious approach so that we can continue reopening over time and not have to go back and close certain things again. The proposed changes don't include reopening businesses like restaurants or gyms. The reason stores are allowed to reopen but not restaurants is due to the fact that people go in and out of stores without remaining in close contact for a long time, Rusin said. In restaurants, this is prolonged indoor contact. So we know that this adds to the risk, he said. Winnipeg and several surrounding communities moved to the red level, the highest level on the province's pandemic response system, on November 2nd, and the rest of the province followed on November 12th. Restrictions tightened further on November 20 when the province reduced the number of household visitors allowed in most cases to zero and imposed an outright ban on the sale of non essential items in stores. The province says its options for relaxing restrictions were informed by a survey that received 67,500 responses between Friday and Monday. Manitobans are asked to provide feedback on their preference through the engagemanitoba.ca website. Miigwech Cameron, Mr. McLean, Pajigachimiigwech, thank you for that update and up to the minute news. Bonjour, Lisa and Gagan, Gani Jagan. Bonjour. Bonjour, Jeff. Hey, get, Jeff, you could have mine and I'll have another one anyway. Me, yeah, me, yeah. Let's take a look at the circles here. Want to share the circles and hammer that home and show you the circles. I wanted to share all of the goings ons, the latest updates, coming to you live and direct from Dauphin, Manitoba. It's where you can find our daily news, our interviews, and storytelling from the Treaty 2 territory, specifically, exclusively. And I want to thank you in joining us and offering us your support and continuing to engage with us. Pidya, where this huge endeavor, this change, reverting back to what we rightfully are. Nina wenta nishina abek. And so, in closing, moxandtrailnewslive.ca is your official online news portal of the Treaty 2 territory. We're always having the ability to communicate with you. Hamsa gichimiwech, egwase, esta shake. Gichimiwech, minopi nagach, egob minimai, unawashing. Tune in for 6 p.m., where we will be speaking and sharing more Anishinaabe and creating what seems to be the beginnings of an Anishinaabe dictionary as well, providing you a comprehensive learning activity through books while listening, reading, and speaking the Ojibwe language. All three of four components, everything except writing. Unless you bring a pen and a paper to the 6 o'clock class, the 6 o'clock program called Anishinaabe on the Mox and Trail News Live platform right here, Sago, at the same spot. So, ni joga niduk, dinayama niduk. Una washing. Ningo to so tebe igan isek. Umame no igan agishkun. Pi jakan. Igo minapi. Hamsa. It's our voice. It's our time. Ahoo.